Hello again and welcome back to Storm Talk. This video is kind of going to be like a little bit of a Hobnash compilation. I don't know. There were a few changes that I kind of want to address that I don't think were big enough overhauls that I need to go over that hero again. So instead, I'm just going to kind of go over a few of them now. For example, Gazlowe is now like physically the strongest hero in the entire game. Now, we're going to take Demolitionist because I play Gazlowe Demolitionist almost all the time whenever I play him. Not that that's often, but...
Choose a talent.
Now, let's just go ahead and go Superiority so we take less damage. This one really doesn't matter. Now, here's the important thing. What's different? Robo-Goblin used to be an activatable ability. Is now permanent. It's a permanent passive trait. So, we're going to take burning damage. And now we're going to take Mechlord. So, as you can see here, at level 30, his new stats are 298 base damage, 328 damage against Siege, with a 150% damage bonus. So, let's just go ahead and toggle that
no need to be
for a minute. I'll be doing about 745 damage a punch.
You're out of boat. I'm going.
So let's go ahead and refresh those forts. As you can see, drop my turrets kind of give me a little bit of a bonus. That took me like 5 seconds. So 5 seconds without supervision is what it takes to get rid of an entire base. Refresh, toggle minions again. Just kind of have like a whole little setup here. And as you can see, even the Great Arthas, one of the strongest tanks in the game, can't hold up more than a couple of punches.
Oh, yeah.
Next up on the docket, we have Azmodan. Specifically, we have his demons. So, one thing that his demons used to have is that his demons used to have a hit-based life schedule. Very similar to the chests. It doesn't matter how strong you are, it just matters that you hit the thing a handful of times. This meant that champions, even with low damage with high attack speeds, were capable of basically putting Azmodan's minions in the grave. Someone similar to like Nazeebo, the Witch Doctor, for example. His spiders would walk through the demons because they just attack that fast. However, now, as you can see, the demons have a much higher health. And actually have health and are not, like, hit-based creatures.
Enticing.
Next up, we have Illidan. His change is extremely minor. So,
choose a
go ahead and get to it. First off, you have Metamorphosis. you know, no major differences happened to the talent. As you can see, almost no difference at all.
Evil draws close.
Go ahead and play the cooldown. We'll go ahead and level up. But now, demonic form. The tooltip is completely wrong now. Which we'll get into in a sec on how. Okay, now that he's out of it. So now, you go into the new demonic form. Instead of having a movement speed whenever you're out of combat, like it says, you actually just mount up like any other hero. Mechanically, it works exactly the same because pretty much all it was is, oh, if you've been out of combat for a little while, you mount up.
Hatred.
Now, you actively mount up, which means you can do it faster. Like 4-second cooldown instead of a 6-second cooldown. You can choose it, so if you don't want it, you don't have... Like, if you want to just kind of walk around a little bit,
Out.
you can totally do that. Don't know why you'd want to. I mean, yeah, it's permanent, so why not fly? Yeah. I have no clue why they changed this, but it is a change.
I alone must
Somewhat.
act.
Next up on the docket, we have Kerrigan. This specifically in her Summon Ultralisk, the Taurus. Not even gonna pretend I know how to
We
pronounce
are
that.
without limit.
So, let's go ahead and summon that. So, the new talent is, as you can see, when it dies, it becomes an egg. Let's see if I can get this thing out. Once the egg hatches, it becomes the Taurus again. I want to refresh Force, but I think that would kill the little guy. Let's stick him over there,
Alright.
where he'll just take damage. I guess he'll just run out of duration. The egg effect can only happen once. But in fights, this does give him a lot more utility.
My conquest
Due
continues.
to the fact that he can die and it not actually like be a waste. So you can throw him out in the middle.
On my way. First blood.
As you can see, he turns into an egg. And just pops back up because he can. I mean, you're not going to stop him. Look at him, he's big and scary.
I am the swarm.
Next off, we have Tychus. His attack, or his update, is based on his basic attack. It's very simple and statistic. As you can see, attacks per second, he has 0.67. It still reads that he has to charge up, but in fact, he no longer charges up. It just takes him longer to do it. So, as you can, or it takes about the same time, but instead of winding up, he starts slow and then builds up. As you can see, his attacks per second grow over the course of a second. Now, of course, this is still an extremely fast, but
I hope you got a plan. Nice little cheat.
and it still takes a little bit to wind down. So. All in all, the effect of this one doesn't actually change much, except, plain and simple, you get a couple of hits off in the time it would have taken you to charge up. And next, and finally, we have Zagara, who has some slight differences. For example, you can actually see the health on your creep tumors now.
Without question.
There are some other differences with the creep tumors. Nothing really all that intrusive. If you play her a lot, just read the patch notes. there's nothing that intrusive, but it is interesting. Next, we have Devouring Maw. Specifically the Tyrant Maw, the upgrade that used to work by if you killed somebody in the maw, that it would reduce the cooldown. Now, come here. A much more experienced Zagara now knows that any kill will reduce the cooldown.
Soft and weak.
So, to demonstrate this again, fresh forts, clear the cooldown real quick, toggle minions.
Cunning.
So, let's trap him in there real quick. As you can see, when he dies, the cooldown drops 25 seconds. The same as it used to whenever she used to kill them in the mall. Now it basically just doesn't require them to be in the mall for it to work anymore. And I just got myself trapped.
We move.
Glorious.
Yes.
Anyway, I hope that this was informative and enjoyable. Sorry that this one was a lot less formal. It's just kind of a little bit of a rough run through of some of the notes that I thought were interesting and worthy of mentioning. Patch notes are available publicly on the forum, and have a nice day.